United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jason, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and in the city of Monte Vista tonight. Amen.
Amen. Everybody be seated. You need a roll call, please?
Counselor Howard,
Here.
Counselor Lorenz,
Here.
Counselor Watson,
Here.
Mayor Becker,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Segola is ill this evening and has been excused. And a quorum has been declared.
Thank you. Approval of consent agenda. Or wait a minute, do we have any modifications to the agenda?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of this.
Yes.
Oh,
F4. Officer,
yes, I'm sorry.
Officer Moats is not here today.
So we're gonna remove F4.
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay,
Make a motion to approve the modification to the agenda.
seconded. It's been moved and seconded to approve the modification to the agenda. We're removing F4, swearing in of Officer Briscoe Moats. Is there any discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz.
Yes.
Counselor Watson,
Aye.
Mayor Becker,
Aye.
motion carries to modify the agenda, removing F4, the swearing in of Officer Briscoe Moats.
Okay, approval of consent agenda, minutes of regular meeting from July 17th, 2025, and approval of accounts payable. A motion to approve. Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda for the minutes of regular meeting from July 17th, 2025, and approval of accounts payable. Is there any discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard.
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz.
Yes.
Counselor Watson.
Aye.
Mayor Becker,
Aye.
motion carries to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, we will move to proclamations, communications, and appointments. Proclamation for Overdose Awareness Month. Is there somebody here for that?
There was supposed to be somebody here for that this evening. Would you like to read that into record? Or
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
want me to continue it until next month when somebody's here?
Let's let them come.
Okay, I will continue that.
Okay, swearing in new police chief Tyler Harford.
Council, after a rigorous application and interview process, I am pleased to announce that Tyler Harford has now earned the new title as Chief Harford. Yeah, so we'll go here.
Stand right up
Did
here.
you-
Step. Sure, that'll be fine. And when they start taking pictures, I'll move.
Okay. Please raise your hand and say after me. I, Tyler Harford,
I, Tyler Harford,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear,
or affirm under the penalty of perjury
affirm under the penalty of perjury,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Colorado,
state of Colorado,
the city of Monte Vista,
city of Monte Vista,
City of Monte Vista charters and ordinances,
city of Monte Vista charter and ordinances,
and I will faithfully perform the duties
will faithfully perform the duties
of Chief of Police
of Chief of Police,
to which I have been appointed
which I have been appointed,
and upon which I am about to enter, so help me God.
and about which I am about to,
And upon which
and upon which I'm about to enter, so help me God.
Congratulations. I really wanted to pin that on you myself, so I can.
I gotta poke him. The poke is part of the process. It's the ones that we call.
Do you have anything you want to say, Tyler?
No, I just wanna thank everybody for their support through this whole process. It's been a kind of a long journey and I think we're ready to, you know, get this over with, a new chapter in the police department and the community, and we're ready to just get out there and get to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. We'll go on to swearing in of Corporal Daniel Golden.
Your hand. Yeah. I, Daniel Golden,
I, Daniel Golden,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm under the penalty of perjury
or affirm under penalty of perjury
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Colorado,
the state of Colorado,
city of Monte Vista Charter and ordinances,
the city of Monte Vista Charter and ordinances,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of corporal
and I will faithfully perform the duties of corporal
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
and upon which I am about to enter, so
And
help me God.
and upon which I am about to enter, so help me God.
Oh, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
Okay, yeah, okay, draw blood. They tase each other, they might as well stab each other with their
I think
bag.
I'd really kick the pen, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, you have anything to say?
Similar to Chief Harford, I'm just happy to say that we're having a new chapter moving on in the police department. I just pray that this is a sign of good things to come. We can move on, get our numbers back up and have a successful rest of the year and years to come. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to citizen comments. City Council walk-ins, unscheduled comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Council will not take action at this same meeting. Yes, sir. Be sure and sign that paper up there, Monty, and state your name.
Can I put French? Don't.
You write over how you want.
They're not gonna be able to read it no how. Okay, Mr. Mayor, Council, first I want to congratulate Tyler.
Thank you.
You go. And I want to welcome our new officers. Number two, I want to thank Rob for getting the ditch cleaned up. Out there from Huxley south to Henderson all the way, or on Henderson to the highway. I can actually see the traffic coming in instead of weeds and trees. I want to thank Scott Duncan. And he did the corner of Newcomb and Faraday. He chopped it down today. Then I've got a really important thing we need to think about. We have a beautiful facility out at Homeland. 40 years ago, I almost brought my daddy-in-law over here. It was gorgeous. I drove through it last week and it sucks peanut butter. It's absolutely disgusting. And we as a community need to, I don't know what we got to do, but I'm starting. And hopefully we'll see it through to get it fixed. We have homeless vets. We have a facility that is in disrepair. And we need to get it fixed so we can get our vets off the street. And hopefully have them quit committing suicide. Okay, I'm not a vet, it's not, no skin off my nose. Other than, it's a waste. And if we're spending all this money overseas, it's time it comes home. It's a state facility, so I was told today we have to go after the state of Colorado. But I'm not gonna go after just the state. I wanna go after the feds as well. Because the vets serve all of us, not just Colorado. So throwing it out there, if anybody has ideas or help, wants to help. I'm not hard to find. I'm not as big as Rob is, but very close. Thank you.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Thank you, Monty. Welcome, Carla.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Carla Shriver, and I apologize for reading this, but I want to make sure I meet the 3-minute requirement the best I can. To be honest, I was hoping I wouldn't have to be here tonight, but I am. I'm here because I believe in the power of reconciliation and the importance of working together for the greater good of our community. I speak tonight in support of a reconciliation or restructure process related to the management of the Sky High complex. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to be involved in many city projects, including now the golf course, but Sky High has been especially close to my heart. With the support and hard work of countless community members, we have transformed a deteriorating facility into a regional gym. Under my leadership, community members, and the city's partnership, the following has taken place at Sky High in recent years with no or very little city investment in dollars. In 2009, the north side of the grandstands and bucking chutes were replaced. In 2010, the large grandstands followed with replacement. As a county commissioner, I also led the effort to construct the West Side Pavilion at the McMullen Building around 2013. And then in 2020, we began demolishing the old multi-use building, celebrating the opening of the new facility in February 2022. Recall that was during COVID. This asset has no debt to the city and was fully funded by community members, donations, and grants. It is important to remember, this all was a community-driven effort. At a time when city's reputation for maintaining the old complex was in question, and the old multi-use building had even been condemned once, it was a community initiative and investment and leadership that brought the new Sky High complex to life. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It took years. It involved multiple city managers and councils. But the constant thread throughout this whole journey has been the commitment of the community, and I include myself in that. I feel I personally have most of the blood, sweat, and tears in it, and know that complex almost more than anyone else. Today, the community takes pride in what has been accomplished at Sky High. This facility doesn't serve just Monte Vista, it serves the entire San Luis Valley. Many organizations that hold events there are satisfied with how it's being run by city staff, and we want to see that momentum continue. However, there's a real concern that if reconciliation and restructure doesn't happen, we risk returning to a time when trust was lacking with the community and the facility was in decline. We, the community, has worked too hard and come too far to let that happen without speaking a voice. I work in other Valley neighboring communities as a volunteer like I do in Monte Vista. I've been hearing whispering lately about a new event center in a couple other communities. That underscores how vital it is to maintain what we've built here. Speaking as someone deeply involved in this process over the years and with my friends at Sky High hat on, I believe it is a reconciliation process. Another thought, do we need to look at structure? Should a formal advisory group be formed and looked at in the mix? If we cannot work out a solution with current staff, I strongly feel that the selection of management at Sky High should continue to be a shared process. That was the model used when the first facility manager was hired, a collaboration between the city, Friends of Sky High, and other user groups. That collaborative approach built trust. It worked and it should continue. Just as the city includes community voices in the hiring and selection process for the police chief and other key positions, I urge you to maintain a similar process for the facility leadership at Sky High. Doing so will reaffirm the trust we've all worked so hard to build. This is not about taking sides, it's about preserving something we all care about. It's about keeping the community engaged and at the table and ensuring that Sky High remains a success story we all can be proud of for years to come. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
Margot.
About to put you on the spot.
I did.
You're on the list.
Oh. There, council. Hello, everybody. I just want to say I went to the night out Sunday where the police was and all the ambulance and everybody, and it was a very interesting and informative time. I learned about some things that I didn't know were available in town and heard more about the police with helping when there is an emergency, the group that was formed. So it was really well done. And we had 4-H this week, and oh, what a joy. It was just delightful to see these young people in this day and age still be committed to things that I think are important. And just lovely young people. And the awards and the creativity was absolutely astounding. So I just want to say thank you, Monte Vista, for holding this. And thank you for Sky High Bay. What a wonderful facility it is. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Margot. Any other citizen comments?
I have one too.
Please step up. You know the drill.
Thank you.
Sign your name. Try to get you to talk at other meetings and you're always like, no. Threw me off, Marie.
I know, right? I do really well when I touch stuff at first. I just want to say how extremely proud and excited I am that we have such a wonderful mayor with such a big heart and so much integrity and such a beautiful commitment that he makes to our town all the time. I heard that you will be running for mayor again, and I want to speak as a member of the community and thank you so much for deciding to run again. It's a big job and a lot of work, and all of us are extremely fortunate that you have decided to run again. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That one threw me on. You're not allowed to talk in that.
Pay political now?
Oh, that one's free. Thank you, Marie.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say he read it up real quick.
Not often am I speechless. All right, we'll move on to scheduled appearances. In order to be included in this portion of the agenda, you have to file appropriate paperwork with the city clerk no later than noon on Monday prior to the meeting. Replat of lots 23 through 28 of the West Side Edition, AutoZone corner of North Broadway and First Avenue. Mr. Enderly. Nobody can leave the
One
meeting.
person, hit the one left.
She didn't give my name yet though, so she left before then.
Yeah,
So in your package, you guys already have the staff report and the recommendation from planning and zoning, as well as the plat map. I did have you need to pull up the actual, well, she did have that.
Oh, hang on.
Where it's at, because on the plat map, it's kind of hard to read and understand what exactly it is. Even me knowing when I'm looking at it, sometimes gets a little bit confusing, and if you only get an 8x11 sheet of paper, it's even harder. So what this will do is it will consolidate 5 different lots into a single lot, and it will allow for the construction of the new AutoZone. He has purchased both of the parcels involved, And inside those parcels, those two parcels, there was 5 total lots. So by consolidating those, it meets the International Building Code, so they can actually build the building and be legal about it. So
It's coming.
You go. Gives you support.
and it is the old Charisma building and then the building beside it that I think at one time used to be a pool.
I like old AP building better though.
Old
They should
AP
call it
building.
old AP building.
Um,
It is.
there will be some changes
This is a
to
spot on town right now.
there'll be some changes to the intersection as that comes with it. There are, once they get into the construction phase, I'll talk about it while she pulls it up. They're gonna remove access points off of First Avenue and off of 160. So there'll be a singular access point into AutoZone from 160. And then the other entrance and exit point will be off of the alleyway. Because otherwise we'd have 3 entrances stacked up with the alleyway, AutoZone, and then the gas station. So we allow them to just use the alleyway, but we will have them pave the alleyway to the end of their property. So it'll pay the alleyway portionally, which will give them the access point that they're looking for. So that's the consolidation. So it's those lots, those 2 parcels that you can see outlined in red. Unless there's questions, I just need a motion and
I motion to approve the replotting of lots 23 through 28 of the West Side Addition, AutoZone corner of North Broadway and First Avenue.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the replat of lots 23 through 28 of the West Side Addition, AutoZone corner of North Broadway and First Avenue. Is there any discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz,
Yes.
Counselor Watson,
Yes.
Mayor Becker.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve the replat of lots 23 through 28 of the West Side Addition for the AutoZone at the corner of North Broadway and First Avenue.
Thank you, DJ.
DJ, wait, we're not finished. Pull that now back up, please.
You want him to do the next one before the record retention?
No, it's okay. DJ, just give them like 3-minute version of what's taking place. And I don't know if they've actually given us a timeline or not. And then what's gonna happen to the back of that building where it is attached to the hotel.
Gotcha. Okay, so this building right here, which is the Charisma building, this garage portion right here actually sits 24 inches into the hotel's property. So they were supposed to start tearing it down the week after Stampede. However, they had to work on an encroachment agreement with the hotel to have access to the property to actually take that portion of the building down. And while they are not a shared wall, they are touching walls. So they had to come up with the legal agreement on what's gonna happen when the wall gets vacated. What are they gonna do with that room? Because they already have it rented out. So they had to talk about revenue loss and those kinds of things. There was some concern over fire entrance and exits. They're only required to have 1 entrance and exit, so they were fine there. But they were worried about a bunch of those different pieces and parts, so it did step them back a little bit. They're now supposed to start on the 15th of August, was the last I was told by RMS Utility, who will be the contractor doing the demolition side. So there was a little bit of setback there, which we brought up months ago, and AutoZone just was like, it'll be fine. And then the day before they were gonna tear it down, they ran into the issue, so we had to step back and work on their agreements. But it will, when it's all said and done, the building will be 7.5 feet off of where the end of the hotel is. It'll be 3.5 feet into their property and then 2 feet off of the building itself, because it'll be that additional 24 inches. So
this problem will be corrected and then we'll no longer have a shared wall or anything like that. It'll be
Correct.
2 separate properties.
it also will take away the illegal encroachment that they had.
Yeah.
So little stuff. It's not illegal because at one point it was all owned by the same guy.
Agreed on it at some point.
Well, it was all owned by the same person when it was originally done. So that's how it played out. But. And they'll take 120 days from the day they start tearing it down until they plan on opening the doors.
Really?
So.
That's moving.
Yeah.
Wow. Bring it in on a truck and set it down, yes.
Okay, now we'll move to resolution. Resolution 2025-16, adoption. The 2024 record retention schedule.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So before you is a resolution just to adopt the 2024 retention schedule that's adopted by the state of Colorado. They no longer print a manual handbook, so it is on site online. The resolution states that whereas the model municipal records retention schedule can be located at, and then it states the website where it can be located. This is hereby adopts the model municipal record retention schedule dated September 24th, 2024, and authorizes the city clerk to submit the request to be used as legal authority for destruction of municipal records to the Colorado State Archives on behalf of the city of Monte Vista.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-16, adoption of the 2024 record retention schedule.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 2025-16, adoption of the 2024 record retention schedule. Is there any discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz,
Yes.
Counselor Watson,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 2025-16. A resolution adopting the 2024 Colorado Municipal Record Retention Schedule for the city of Monte Vista.
Okay, we'll move to resolution 2025-17. Minor subdivision Alpine Valley, 50-unit apartment complex with community center on Chico Camino.
So this one, she's gonna put up another picture for me. So you guys, again, in your packet, you have the plat map. This is the concept drawing of what will be put down. So it's actually gonna be two phases. I'm gonna go to the TV so I can point since I pointed because it show up on TV. So two phases. The first phase will be these four buildings right here, which will be 26 apartments. And that's gonna be phase one, which is what he's gonna build first. Depending on their absorption rate, he'll then build this one projected in next spring. He can say he'll be able to fill them that quickly, which will be another 24 units. This is actually gonna be a community center, which will be owned by a nonprofit. We're working through some detail with who that's going to be at this time. And that community center will be used for everything from, it'll have about a half court basketball court for it. So he wants to use it for like some little kid recreation stuff. People can have like birthdays and stuff. It will be a community amenity that the apartment can also utilize, but it's not necessarily just for that. Inside the apartment complex will be everything from a studio to 1, 2, and 3 bedroom homes. Their apartments, they will have all of the services provided, all the utilities will be there. They'll have washers and dryers, stove, kit, all the things that are required in the kitchen, including a dishwasher. They're gonna be pretty decent apartments. And if you are interested, he says anybody can go look at his ones that are in Alamosa. He has a couple that are still unrented, and he can show you the model that he's building. So this is the design of the project, which makes a little bit more sense when you look at the map. The subdivision being done because in 2007, the legacy addition was done. And according to our code, if no substantial construction has been completed within 18 months and completed construction within 3 years, the subdivision shall be vacated. So even though on our current plat maps, it still shows it as 8 parcels with a cul-de-sac, in reality, it should just be one blank piece of land. So we did fill out the documentation to vacate the legacy addition, and then this would be the replat or the re-subdivision into 3 lots, as you see there. Are there any questions? If not, I can go forward and go ahead and move read the resolution. Resolution number 2025-17, a resolution of the Monte Vista City Council approving Alpine Valley subdivision. Whereas Louis Lucondi, on behalf of Efron Holdings LLC, submitted an application for the subdivision of a parcel of land located at to be determined Chico Camino in the city of Monte Vista with a legal description as follows, to wit, lots 1, 2, and 3. of the Alpine Valley subdivision, city of Monte Vista. And whereas the application was duly filed with the Monte Vista Planning Office on June 19th, 2025, pursuant to the provisions of the Monte Vista Municipal Code, section 13-3-50, minor subdivisions, and contains all the information required by that section. And whereas the application processes of the subdivision of parcels, all of those parcels, formerly comprising Legacy Edition, into 3 lots, as shown on the subdivision plat provided with the application. And whereas the application was reviewed by the Planning and Zoning Commission of the city of Monte Vista on July 24th, 2025, following proper public notice, posting, and hearing. And whereas the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the subdivision to be recorded as lots 1, 2, and 3, with the final addresses to be determined as depicted in the plat map attached hereto as Exhibit A. Now therefore let it be resolved by the City Council of the City of Monte Vista hereby approves the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission in the subdivision of the subject parcels as proposed.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-17, minor subdivision of Alpine Valley.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2025-17, minor subdivision of Alpine Valley, 50-unit apartment complex with community center on Chico Camino. Is there any more discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz.
Yes.
Counselor Watson,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve resolution 2025-17, minor subdivision for Alpine Valley, 50-unit apartment complex with community center off of Chico Camino.
We'll need the ordinances. Notice of public hearing set for ordinance 923, adopting the 2025 model traffic code. Mr. Farish.
Mayor, council, so this has been a work in progress, as you know, for some time. Back in the end of March, I think it was on, excuse my voice, I think it was on the 31st of March, we had a conference in my office with the chiefs from the various departments. Tyler was there representing the city, and we had representatives, the chiefs from Del Norte and South Fork and Blanca and Saguache and La Hera. And out of that came a consensus of the model traffic code for 2025, which is before us now. What we had to do on this was take the traffic code that was promulgated by CDOT, which is a little over 200 pages, and consolidate that down to approximately 98 pages of citations of statutes and found in Title 42 that are applicable to our municipality. So that sets up a protocol. We have to juggle 2 or 3 things when we're doing one of these that are adoption of a code by reference. We have to abide by our city charter requirements and also the statute on adopting codes by reference. And then also CDOT gets into it by their own requirements. So this first meeting today is bringing this matter before you for passage on first reading under our code of the City of Monte Vista Model Traffic Code for 2025, and moving this to the notice of public hearing. There will be 2 notices to be published. First publication would be on August the 16th, 2025, and the second on August 27th, 2025. And we've looked at the time intervals there, and you've got to be very careful that those fit into the statutory requirements. So This would be for the hearing on September the 4th here before the council, adoption of a code by reference. And this is also going to give us a little bit of time. I would like to meet with police department, Tyler, and whoever else he might want to have over there. And we have some opportunity to look at all these provisions, discard some of those that might not ever be used by the police department. And if we don't have some in there that should be, to reform the code before final passage. It becomes a little bit very, very close when we pass this code after hearing on September the 4th, because we have to publish our charter within 10 days, but CDOT wants to have their approval after we have passed the ordinance. So we've got to get the ordinance right away to CDOT. They would have to act on it very quickly, and they're not known for doing that, but we'll stress the urgency of that, because we've got to go by our charter to publication within 10 days after that. So that's the kind of close time interval we'll be looking at on this. Just for the public's benefit, what the Monte Traffic Code does is extract the provisions from Title 42, which is our state traffic code, that are applicable to municipalities, and place those into a code that the officers can cite, and therefore the city of Monte Vista can get the fine money, and the police department get the surcharge money that those citations bring. So we have structured all those in the MTC. To be a little more specific, it says the subject matter of the Model Traffic Code relates primarily to comprehensive traffic control regulations for the city of Monte Vista, and is based upon the 2024 version of the Model Traffic Code for Colorado, published by the Colorado Department of Transportation in November 2024 as revision 1.0. The city of Monte Vista Traffic Code, Model Traffic Code, adopts only those portions of the CDOT code which it deems relevant to traffic regulations in the city of Monte Vista. Any traffic infractions or offenses which are set forth as violations in this code and differ from identical traffic infractions or offenses in Title 42 will not be enforced on state or federal highways in this municipality. That's a sentence that CDOT insisted on being in there, so we're treating that by looking carefully at the citation itself to make sure that these coincide with each other. The purpose of this ordinance and the code adopted herein is to provide a system of traffic regulations consistent with state law and generally conforming to similar regulations throughout the state and nation. That's the purpose of the ordinance. There are, in doing this, we've had to look at the old code that we've had. We have to look at Title 42 and bringing those code provisions together. And we have to look at something that is called the Common Code, which the officers use for e-force filings and this kind of thing, in order to sometimes find the point count. So we're trying to include the point count in this particular ordinance too. It's a pretty good juggling act to work through that. Do you have any questions on this? And if not, I would request a motion to pass ordinance number 923 on first reading. And we've already made out the notice of the public hearing and also the model traffic code itself.
Make motion to approve ordinance 923 adopting the 2025 model traffic code.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve ordinance 923 adopting the 2025 model traffic code. Notice of public hearing. Is there any more discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lawrence,
Yes.
Counselor Watson,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve ordinance 923 adopting the 2025 model traffic code on first reading and setting the notice for public hearing for September 24th at 6 p.m. at the Monte Vista City Council meeting.
Right. Contracts, agreements, and leases. Award the airport crack seal project. Rob?
Good evening, council. Before you tonight is a recommendation to award the crack seal, on the runway 220 CDOT project, to CR Contracting LLC. In your packet, you have a recommendation letter from our consultants, the Aviation Planning Group. As city staff, I don't know the recommended contractor at all, but based on the consultant's recommendation and the fact that they are the low bidder, considerably lower than the other bid, there were two bidders, one local and one outside. I would follow with that recommendation and ask city council to go ahead and please award the contract for crack seal to CR Contracting LLC for a grand total of $75,000. And I'll open it up if you have any questions.
Timing?
Timing is just in a month. He said they can come in here by towards the end of September and be in and have the project done in a couple of days and be gone.
Where is CR contracting from, do you know?
Oregon, Bend, Oregon. So this company, according to Raphael, he's our consultant, you guys have seen him before. That's kind of what they specialize in, is in pavement maintenance, crack seal, chip seal, that type of stuff. So for their firm, they have, it's a bigger organization. They have businesses all along the Pacific West. So for them, they're just gonna send a crew in for a few days, knock it out and be done.
I make a motion to award the contract to CR Contracting for the mastic crack seal or runway.
Thank you, sir.
Second. Been moved in second to award the airport crack and seal project to CR Contracting LLC. Is there any discussion? Unita?
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz,
Yes.
Counselor Watson,
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to award the airport crack seal contract to CR Contractors LLC for $75,000.
RFP from Monte Vista Municipal Judge.
I don't remember back when, but a few months ago, the judge asked to extend her contract until the end of the year. And you all did that. And I told you I would get an RFP out so that we could get it started by the 1st of January. And so you've got the RFP in front of you. We are stating that the deadline is October the 1st. So that'll give people a good 6 weeks if they are interested in applying. You all will do the interviews on October the 9th. And then you'll make the selection at your next city council meeting on the 16th. Then we'll get work with Jean, we'll get the contract ready to go by November the 6th. And so they'll be ready to run on January 1st. So I just need you to approve the RFP. Nita and I'll get that out next week. We've already been reaching out to some other municipalities and finding out who they're using and if they're happy with them. And so we've got hopefully we get some good applications.
Make a motion to approve the RFP for Monte Vista Municipal Judge.
Seconded.
Been moved and approved. And been moved to approve the RFP for the Monte Vista meeting. Is there any discussion? I can't talk now anyways.
You really shook you up right there, didn't it?
Well,
Touched you.
You
So you gotta give the
weren't,
guy a little compliment, he's done.
you weren't here when I got the daylight scared out of me.
Counselor Howard,
Yes.
Counselor Lorenz,
Yes.
Counselor Watson.
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve the RFP for the Monte Vista Municipal Judge.
Receive and approve and financial reports. Financials for June. Judy?
Good evening, council. I'd like to present the end of period June 2025 financial reports. The city has completed 50% of the 2025 fiscal year. The cash balance in the main checking account is for the general fund is $3,472,791. In the water fund, $400,798.92, and the sewer fund, $1,919,141. Revenue in excess of expenditures in the general fund, $581,605. Water fund is in a negative $63,393.42. Sewer fund, $417,763. Total expenditures percent of the approved budgeted amounts: general fund 39%, water fund 48%, and sewer fund 26%. Revenue comparisons: general fund revenues currently show an increase of $240,535, while total tax revenue between 2024 and 2025 has decreased by $130,000. The sale of property for the hotel has led to the increase. The proceeds from the property sale have been invested and will go towards the grant match to build the new baseball fields. Other notable increases for 2025 include the increase in Sky High revenue, increase in airport lease revenue, and the use of retirement funds for forfeitures or retirement forfeitures. The water fund decrease is related to a decrease in water taps and acquisition fees in 2025. And the sewer fund shows an increase for 2025 resulting from increased sewer service charges offset by a decrease in state grant revenue and tax. General fund revenues average $485,828 per month. June brought in the highest revenue for the first 6 months, and this was mainly due to the sale of property. General property tax revenue generally follows the same pattern over the months and years, with the traditional spike in April and June. However, for 2025, for some reason, we saw a spike in April and May with a slight decline in June. Not sure why, but that's what we got. Compared to the first 6 months of 2024, the city is up $36,000 in property tax for 2025. Unfortunately, the Rio Grande sales tax revenue is not quite as exciting. It's down by $60,000 for 2025. City sales tax is down by $8,000 for 2025. Compared to the first 6 months of 2024, the total tax revenue is down about $129,000. Again, the 110 difference is due to the reimbursement we got last year for the Senate Bill 2022. That being removed, overall tax revenue would be down about $19,000 for 2025 so far. Expenditures in the general fund through June increased slightly due to the third quarter property casualty insurance that was paid in June rather than July. The water fund increase again is due to the property casualty insurance, as well as capital outlay work done on 2nd and Dennis in January and work done on the Sherman Avenue pump in June. The sewer fund decrease in expenditures is due primarily to a decrease in funds going out for plant design engineering services last year.
General fund expenditures averaged $388,893 per month. June's expenditures came in close to that average. Comparing monthly budgeted amounts for expenditures at 50% of the budget year, we are under budget by 11% in the general fund. And all departments are operating within their budgets at this time. The current ratio is $6.94 of current assets for every dollar of current liabilities. And we currently have 8.98 months of operating expenses in the general fund's total unassigned fund balance. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Staff proposals, reports and actions. City clerk. Look at you and your little PowerPoint.
She's fancy.
It's a.
Looks good. She needed. I can get away with a little more than you. You might be careful there.
Yeah, you bet.
You see the back in the house.
I'm getting technical.
Does it have music?
No, it doesn't have, oh, I should put music in it next time. Okay, I'll dance. So I just wanted to go over a few numbers with you. I haven't given a report on our Facebook account lately. So I just wanted to show you a few things on Facebook. So on our Facebook account, the City of Monte Vista Recreation page, and I know it's hard to see these numbers, but for the last few months, the recreation page for the month of July had 360 hits. The Kids Connection had 10 hits. And the police department had 412 hits, and the City of Monte Vista page had 173 hits, and that was just for the month of July. So the recreation page had a total of 164 hits, was their biggest hit, and that was on July 23rd, and it was for the WOW games. So what we posted on there, was one of the flyers for the WOW games, and that was their biggest hit for that. The other hits that they had were for recreation sign up for their sports. And that's what they put on there is their sports flyers for sign up for recreation. Kids Connection, their biggest hit was also the WOW games. We try to put things out there on the Kids Connection page that have to do with any closures or anything like that. We have to be really careful of what stories we put on there because we can't put pictures of the kids. So we're trying to figure out how we can put some pictures out there without violating the rules that she has on there with the kids. The police department is probably our biggest hit page. We have 156 views through the last 28 days, 156,000 views through the last 28 days. Our biggest hit was on June 28th, which was 48,000 hits. And that was a hit for a stop that they did on a drug stop that they did on a house over on Morton. So that was a post. The other big hit was National Night Out. So we posted pictures of National Night Out, and that was 16,000 views. The city page has 44,000 views. The biggest hit was, of course, the mosquito spraying page was the biggest hit with 5,000 views. The next biggest one is our water leak, when we have water leaks. The City of Monte Vista's website is fully up and operational. And down at the bottom, you can see where we have the Text My Gov site. It's the widget down there. So if anybody's interested in signing up for Text My Gov, they can go to the City of Monte Vista website page. They click on that and it will take them to a page that's created for Text My Gov. The Text My Gov page will walk them through on how to set up their account with TextMyGov, so they will get notifications on anything that's happening within the city. We've used it actually quite a bit here within the last few weeks. We have the alleyway project that we've used it on, so we've sent out a few text messages we did one for the entire city to let everybody who was signed up to know that we were starting the alleyway project. Then we did one just specifically for the area that it was being affected. And then on Monday, the 4th, we had a water shut off. So we sent out a text message that just affected those people that were being affected by the water shut off through the TextMyGov. We got really good response back saying thank you. This was a great help. That we knew that the water is being shut off through the TextMyGov. So there was in that location, there was 38 people that were notified that their water was being shut off. The other big thing on our Facebook page, or excuse me, on our webpage is we are completely 100% ADA accessible now. Everything on our webpage is ADA compliant. We are one of the very few communities that are 100% ADA compliant. All of our PDF documents are ADA compliant. They've been ran through the system. So anybody who needs an ADA compliant document can pull up our documents and they're 100% compliant. They can also download the free PDF formatting site from our website that will help them walk through any ADA compliant needs that they need. So that is 100% compliant now. Next one is elections. So if you're thinking about running for mayor or council, we have the mayor position and 2 council seats. I know that Dale, you are running for mayor. Thank you. November 4th is the 2025 election. All petitions have to be turned in to me by the 25th of August. So if you're interested in becoming an elected official is a municipal government is a multifaceted role involving leadership, decision-making, and community representation. It requires a strong commitment to the public service, ethical conduct, and willingness to collaborate with colleagues and constituents. Elected officials are responsible for setting and strategic direction for the community, allocating resources, developing budget, and ensuring the delivery of essential services. If you're interested, please contact the city clerk's office for information. My number is 719-852-6171. You can also come to the city clerk's office at 95 West First to pick up a packet. There are countless reasons why you may want to run for city council. An elected official, you have opportunities to make important contributions to your community and make changes for your community. So why not just do it? Run. Election packets can be picked up at any time between 7 and 5:30, Monday through Thursday. Again, all packets have to be turned in by August 25th by 5 p.m. And the November 4th is the election date. Any questions, comments?
Thank
I
you.
love your webpage, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. You need us
Use it all the time.
Public Works.
We're going back to the 19th century or the 18th century. I don't have anything written for you. I'd like to start off my report with an apology to not only my coworkers and everything and to council. I've been less than in the office like I normally am, so I apologize for that. And hopefully moving forward, I will be back doing my own stuff and the way I have been. I would like to thank my crew and my leadership within my department for stepping up and taking over and handling things while I've been out. I would also like to apologize to the mayor and the fair board for a lack of communication between Public Works and Sky High that took some very routine items and turned them into something that was a little more urgent and they should not have been, so I apologize.
Well,
They all should have been done, and I'm hoping everything after that have moved smoothly for the fair, and so with that, but if you guys will indulge me, I'd like to read an email I received today. I know and I'm sure every other department head is very proud of their crew, but I'd like to share an email with you, and this will be my report for tonight. What an amazing city. My wife and I and our Shetland sheepdogs compete in dog agility competitions. There have been trials in Dolores, Farmington, and Ignacio. We travel to these trials in our trailer with our dogs and pass through Monte Vista. We noticed the large park on the west side of town. It's easy to get to on the highway and has beautiful grass. We have stopped there several times, but this year we were very impressed with the condition of the area. Mothers and their children have been using the swings. Our dogs were so happy to run on the lawn, and the restroom facilities were shockingly clean and free of damage, graffiti, and trash. One of your maintenance men was there with new toilet paper, empty trash cans, better than the restrooms at DIA. In driving through town, we saw several more meticulously maintained parks, strategically positioned for the townspeople. I don't know how you do it, but we are very impressed with your town. Thank you for sharing your town with us. Jim and Susie DeKeefer, Elizabeth, Colorado. So very proud of what my folks are able to do with a very limited budget. So with that, thank you. Any questions?
I have no question. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
You got a question? You got.
Whoever you have in charge of the parks,
His name is Andrew Valenzuela.
he's an older gentleman.
Yes.
That's Victor.
I don't think he sleeps.
No, he doesn't.
No,
I don't think he ever goes home.
that's
No.
Vic.
Yeah, yes. And the older gentleman is big.
Okay.
Big Sonora.
Yeah.
Is that one that's there on Sundays?
Yep. That's the one that's changing water.
Does a really,
They do a good job. And I think this, this kind of highlights that. Yeah.
I brought in some hunters from out of state and stuff, and they always comment on the town. They're just like, this place is so pretty. I'm like, I know, that's why I stayed.
So, and that's it. So. Another one. And I would also like to point out, I don't know, I thought National Night Out this year was really good, first time in Sky High, and I don't know who your plans are, or I know, Officer Mormon was the one that contacted me, so she was a planner, I thought she did a really good job. Don't know if it was a plan or coincident, but having the school, back to school special, if you will, with the backpacks and the school supplies, I thought that was really cool. And so, good job. Another email. I live on First, right on the alley. My lilac hedge and invading trees were badly overgrown. I went out last week and trimmed them up as high as I dared, maybe up 6 feet optimistically. Today, to my delight, your guys showed up with way better tools and stronger bodies than I have and cut the hedge higher so my neighbors won't have to deal with the higher branches I couldn't reach. I was also given the card of someone I can call when the time is right to complete the job of cutting the hedge down to the height I like. I broke my leg this past January, which left me unable to do a lot of routine maintenance tasks that I have done in the past, and even made organizing my life pretty challenging. You guys did a wonderful, beautiful job today, and I'm very grateful. I know you get a lot of complaints. I worked for the city attorney in Lakewood long ago, but I wanted to give props for a job well done, and thank you for very helpful to this rest of it. Thank you. Martha Kennedy, 121 First.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. That was awesome. PD. Chief Harford.
So I don't have a cool slideshow either, but I got a couple of pictures.
That's the bar, awfully high, brother.
They all fail. Sheesh. I can't see that one or this one. Is that June?
That is Jim's.
So June, just our stats and that we had 702 calls for service. 16 traffic accidents, 94 reports taken, 75 code enforcement related calls, 25 arrests, 38 citations, and 77 traffic stops and 73 agency assists. And then in July, everything kind of went up a little bit. I think it's midsummer, everybody's out and about doing stuff, so. July, we had 836 calls for service. 23 traffic accidents, 117 reports taken, 60 code enforcement related calls, 23 arrests, 43 citations, 103 traffic stops, and 66 agency assists. With all that, in July, we also had Stampede, which was, in my opinion, very successful compared to the other 7 years that I have seen here. For example, the concert night, generally we kick out probably 10 to 15 people at least, and this year it was only 2. So it was very well, very successful with security there this year. And also National Night Out was a very good turnout. I like the layout better at Sky High. I think it just helps if there's rain or inclement weather, it's just a better place to have it, so. That's all I got, so.
Chief,
Yep.
did you want to touch on some of the drug houses you've been working on?
Yeah, so we're working on, I mean, Monte Vista is a small city, but there's big city problems, especially when it comes to drug abuse. And that's one of our main focuses is to put a dent in that. I think if we can control that or get a handle on it, in turn, it's gonna drop our petty crime, shoplifting, thefts, everything that comes along with it. So that's kind of our main focus right now is to get a handle on the drug use and drug abuse. And that doesn't always mean arrest, take to jail. We have the LEAD program. We can refer people to the LEAD program, trying to get them the help they need. The LEAD program can provide housing, work, transportation. There's a lot of things that come with that. So that's what we're focused on now, and that's what we want to start working on most.
When, like with all the calls, is it that I'm sure there's a lot of just calls like for reporting? I mean,
Yeah, so
you get calls for everything that's going on, but like, is there what's an idea of how many calls are like, hey, we got a problem in this neighborhood. I know you guys are busy, so just log it.
yeah, so there's the calls for service is anywhere from just a phone call. Hey, I got a question about a harassment to, the bigger crimes. So it's kind of everything in between. And we have a further breakout of what they are when dispatch sends that to us.
Okay.
But yeah, that just covers everything in between. And that also includes ambulance calls, fire calls, anything that we would assist with.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Well, I do want to congratulate you though.
Thank you.
I was really hoping you get that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it went through the channels to where everybody knew that you were just the best candidate for it.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You can't leave yet.
Yeah.
No, meeting's not over.
You stepped through DJ.
Brandon's keeping me here.
I stay here down the world. Good evening, Mayor and Council. So back in June, we had a little bit to be doing, especially with preparations for Stampede and everything. And then in July, it's led into fully on supporting Stampede. But back in June, we did a walkthrough for Public Works camera system again. We had to get an updated quote, as a quote that we had was about a year old by the time we were actually able to look into it. So we're hopefully going to be breaking ground on cameras soon out there, get the cameras up there updated, as the current system there is questionable at best, is how I put it. But we're just looking forward to secure the shop a little bit more, especially with the yard and all that. Just make sure their equipment is at least monitored if anything does happen out there. Out at Sky High, we had a major network outage that caused us to fail to secondary. This was from the UDM, that's the actual Dream Machine. It's what runs the main network. It's what manages all the traffic, all the connections, everything is having some configuration issues. So we had to take that out and fully reset it and then monitor it for a while, make sure it wasn't actually failing. We were able to get that back up after about 2 weeks and then brought it back over to the primary and everything was good to go by Stampede. We had to redo Kids Connections tablets as we had to swap what email they were using. This just was a quick swap over, redo the tablets, and then put them back out. This is how they check in with the kids, or the kids checking in and out through their system out there. We had a major network outage here at City Hall. We had a power outage that killed our main data stack UPS, which is our uninterruptible power supply. That was killed from a power outage. I was able to consolidate everything down to a functional UPS and get City Hall back up and running. We are looking into picking up a secondary UPS again, just make sure we have a failover. Then there was the drone photos of the skate park for Gigi for the WoW games. And then I've been doing a lot of stuff in the back end to declutter our network room, just remove any redundant cabling. Then in July, I did drone photos and a video for Stampede. This was requested by DJ and Gigi. Not Gigi, sorry, Stephanie. And then we did a temporary security room again for Stampede, as we do every year. This is just a room for all PD, either River County, APD, or NDPD. This has camera access to the entire building, just a good place for them to go and monitor if there's any issues or pull footage. I had to do Engage updates to Sky High, so all the doors out there are running through what we call the Engage system. This is door locks and all that. It was having issues updating manually, so I had to go out there and just make sure everything is pushed through, especially with the new hires and all that, just make sure everyone had access. And then we began preparations for the e-recycling. Today, I actually took all the old computers here at City Hall that doesn't support Windows 11 to Alamosa, so that way we are prepared to start recycling all that out when the truck gets here later in August. I believe that is August 21st, if I'm not mistaken. And then we implemented a new password security on the domain. So this is just keep everything up and running, make sure everything's secured. And now if there's a password that you are using and it's been logged in a database, that database then cross-checks every password on the domain. And if it's found to be compromised, it then has your reset password and just make sure that no one can access your items if the password has been compromised. Other than that, it's just been a lot of busy work trying to keep caught up on everything and make sure everything's functioning. Any questions?
You were talking all Greek to me, but thank you for that.
You guys look great.
Thanks, Toz. City manager report.
Gene was organizing his papers and I thought he was giving a report today.
Nope.
Nope. So one thing I hope you all can attend is Monday. We've got a meeting with the county commissioners doing a luncheon, and that's with Eduardo's or at Eduardo's at 11:30. Monday. As Tyler mentioned, we did do a Stampede debrief last night. I thought it went well. Stampede seemed pretty happy. The committee seemed pretty happy. And some of the other law enforcement partners were there. And so there are a few things that they'll take a look at and we've got another year now to get those things addressed. So, but they love the facility. They liked the being able to expand the carnival farther in the back. And they felt like by moving the carnival rides out more, there was just more room for people to move around. And so it wasn't so tight as far as extra fighting and pushing and that sort of thing. So that just the space, people had space. Since we're talking about Sky High just a moment, Rob and I are continuing to work with the engineer plans for getting the generator and the shower building and the RV spaces back there. We're having a bit of a problem because these are federal dollars, and so it has to be Buy American, whatever that acronym is, BABA. The generator that you all approved, we had to then send it to the state and list out the 90 different pieces and components, and it's not all BABA compliant. So got a little bit of a hiccup there. I think that the state is a little concerned from the fact that we haven't been submitting any invoices yet. Because since they're federal funds, the state's the fiscal agent on it. And so they want the invoices as soon as we have them to get them shipped back out so that we're getting the money. So it's just we're just kind of working through it and trying to make it all fit. Stephanie has done a remarkable job. She worked very hard, and her staff throughout Stampede. You guys got her report, I believe, at the last meeting, and she has submitted her resignation. And so her last working day is actually on Saturday. The golf course is moving right along with their new building. Rob and I poked our heads in there today to kind of take a look, and they need security cameras. And so Carla Shriver, who you heard from earlier, she's helping to find some grant money for that. And Brandon and Doss and his boss, Brandon Gallegos, have been very helpful in finding the kind of putting together the plan, because it's going to be part of the city's security system, and because it's going to be a city building, and so we need to be able to have access to those security cameras and such. So we're working on all that together. I've heard from a couple of you that you would like to get to know our new chief a little bit better. And so we are looking at a work session next week on either August the 13th or the 14th, whatever works out for 4 or 5 of you. The 12th is Dale's birthday, so.
I say we do it that day.
You can't take compliments. He's saying happy birthday. I don't think he could take it.
We bring a gift, he might have a heart attack.
Yeah, so let's just be kind.
What days are you looking at?
Either Wednesday or Thursday, 13 or 14.
14th doesn't work for me, 13th does. I have to go to Denver.
13th, fine with me.
You too?
I don't know, I'll find out.
Okay. What time? 5:30 or 6?
We do 6.
Okay.
5:30 gets a little tight for me to get to.
Okay. All right, so then we'll schedule that. And again, I just want to thank Stephanie Roybal for her 3 years of dedication and love and help with that building, and we certainly wish her well.
Thank you, Gigi. Thank you, Gigi.
You're welcome.
All right, council committee, city commission, council reports. Councilor Allen.
Well, I was gonna talk more about CML, but I haven't had a chance to be blunt, so.
Next time.
There's some interesting stuff that came out of CML, I thought, and it's on my agenda to talk about some of those.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Come on, Brad.
No, I can't. Just me even saying this, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth at some point. Councilor Lorenz?
I'd like to say, Dale, you have been a great man. I wish you well. As you run for a 3rd term.
Thank you, Jason. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, paid political now.
No, that one's free too. Well, I'm assuming it's free. You'll probably get a bill. Anything else that's
No.
Thank you. All right. That's up to me. Marie, you started this, so. We had your meeting on Tuesday night and I unfortunately missed it, but there was some real positive stuff came out of that meeting from what I hear. I was hoping DJ would stay to be able to give us some input of what was discussed. Cause you were there. Gigi, weren't you at the URA meeting?
Yes, I was. So we listened to Louis Lincondi, who was doing the apartment building across the street. He was asking for help Lauren, you're on the Rio Grande Land Trust, so Andrew was there. You guys may be one of the partners potentially that's looking at helping him. And then the other part of the program was I can't remember his last name, but Aaron from the high school,
Woodkey.
Aaron Woodkey. He came and talked and had a program called or it's an association based out of Colorado Springs that has been springing up all over the state, and they are taking high school kids and helping them to get certified in building homes. And so these kids it's like a 2 to 3 year program, so they can get into it. They're getting little certifications. And so they came to the URA asking if there was any way to partner with the city or with URA on those 3 or 4 vacant lots that we have that they could build a tiny home on. And so the URA is taking that into consideration. The challenge with this is that this association that's helping to do it, that's all they do. They just help put it together and say, okay, here's the curriculum you need, and this is how you teach these kids and what they need to do. They don't buy the supplies and the tools. And so it was kind of odd because Curtis Holland, who's on the school board, was at the meeting, and Aaron has not spoken to his school board yet about this. So he was taken a little bit by surprise, but if they can get it off the ground, they've already been meeting with some other contractors. Alcon comes to mind, and so there's people excited and giving these kids skills that once they get out of high school, they don't necessarily have to go on. They could go on to another trade school, but they do have some workable skills. He said that right now they've either graduated through or have in place 5,000 students just in Colorado that's involved with this. So there's I think like 19 high schools in Colorado Springs that is offering it. So up and down the Front Range, but they've really broadened out. Sounds like a much better use than a shop class that I would be familiar with, so.
Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate that.
Gene was there. Do you have anything else, Dad?
Well, a lot of these kids are going on to construction trades vocations. And it really sounds like a good program because they are getting certified and they're in construction, and they got a big leap ahead when they have attended this program,
Plus the trades are working at a deficit at this point. There's not a re-upping of the employees towards it's a dying art. So I mean, white collar, blue collar is becoming the new white collar soon.
Well, in Trinidad State has a program, and they just did a rehab, but they're doing rehabs. And so they took a blighted home, purchased it in the Lariat community. And they had that ribbon cutting a couple of weeks ago. I went through it. It looks really nice. And so they're hoping to sell it and have more funds in order to do more. Their next one though has to be in Alamosa, so.
Good program.
Yep.
Well, Tyler, you guys did really good for National Night Out. Jessica did a great job. Everybody, it was fun. And of course that you have it inside. It was 90 degrees outside and beautiful. But if you'd had it in the park, it would have been windy and rainy.
Yeah.
But it was great. That you guys did a great job. As Margot said, the 4-H fair is still going on. Tomorrow night they're having their barbecue
And sale and auction.
and the auction. The barbecue starts at 4:30. Auction starts at 5 this year, so if you're gonna be bidding on anything, get there early. Margot. And did anybody go to the WOW games?
There you go.
How was it?
pretty good. There was smaller town, but there was enough kids for each of the age brackets. There was a couple of boys in the 16 to 18 bracket from Pagosa Springs that were quite competitive, meaning backflips and other things coming out of the bowl. They were quite impressive. So, yes.
Cool.
They were.
First year, I thought it was really good, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And I thought it started later than it did,
Yeah.
so I got there in time for a kill and charge. But there was still, the people that were there were very enthusiastic. The kids that were there were very proud of what they had done. And you had the little ones that was 18, really,
Yeah.
on bike. And they did a good job. But they worked hard at it.
Good.
The city, whoever put it together did a nice job.
I remember
Some serious.
Yeah.
Cool, very good.
It's good.
That, you see something, say something. They're starting to get really obvious out here, so if it looks abnormal, call it in. There's a non-emergency number for Colorado State Patrol, even if it's just like I called in the other night and I knew these guys were busy and I was like, they ain't gonna get here in time for what's going on, so just log it, is what I told them.
And if you guys can, you see something and we can't get there, we're busy on something else, even if you can date, time and what you've seen, that helps us a lot.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Tyler.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
And
sir.
on Facebook this afternoon, it popped up that there's some guy right down in Alamos on his bicycle, stopping cars with a gun.
Jeez, that escalated. Bicycle to a gun.
Yeah, and what's crazy, he stopped in front of the car. My accelerator works well.
Be safe out there, everybody. And tonight when I was going home to get my stuff to get here to the meeting, I watched and you probably know about it already, a big truck and trailer take out the stop sign and part of the fence at the skate park.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
turned the corner too sharp. I watched it happen.
Like our nice rod fences?
Yeah. And I thought he was gonna bolt, so I pulled a UE and I called into the state patrol right away and told them, and the lady, all she said, whatever you do, do not confront him if you're chasing him down. I said,
Down right now.
they said, no, he stopped, he's good. So then, I'm sure that your officers got there, but yeah, I mean, he just cut it too tight, and I mean, it just uprooted it all, so.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard about it.
Yeah.
A
So,
lot of people comment on the skate park. They love the way that looks. You see them driving through.
and on the skate park, somebody made comments about nobody ever uses it. Every day when I drive home
Your scars.
for lunch or in the evening, there is always kids that are playing. And a lot of families you can see are traveling and they stop there to let their kids blow the stink off. So. With that, Monty Strong, we will recess the meeting till August 21st at 6 p.m. here at City Hall. Thank you all for being here tonight.